Probably just imagining things, Natalie murmured to herself as she tried to get control of her thoughts. That reassurance didn't stop her from reaching for the knife she kept in her nightstand. She tucked the 6-inch blade under her pillow before lying down again, reprimanding herself for overreacting. She pulled the quilt to her chin, wishing she could disappear beneath it and escape this entire situation. What happened to the successful, confident person she'd once been? Would she ever regain her life? Her freedom? Natalie wasn't sure. She hadn't known it was possible for fear to consume her like it did. Her therapist had said she was having panic attacks. Natalie didn't care what they were called. She only knew the terror she felt when they came upon her. No sooner had she nestled her head into the soft pillow did another noise thud outside. It sounded like a heavy, booted footstep on the wooden porch that stretched in front of the cabin. That was no raccoon. Someone was out there. He was out there. Natalie was certain of it. Trembling overtook her. She couldn't just lie here. Couldn't just wait for this guy to break into the cabin and find her, to finish what he'd started. That's when her thoughts turned to Lexi. She should be home by now, tucked into bed after working the evening shift. If anything happened to her sister because of her, Natalie couldn't finish the thought. She should never have come here. Lexi had her fair share of problems already. She didn't need Natalie bringing hers. Grabbing the knife again, Natalie slid out of bed. She pulled on some leggings and a sweatshirt before slipping on her boots. Since leaving the hospital after the attack, she always slept with them by her bed alongside a packed bag, just in case she needed to run. For the past several weeks, her whole life had revolved around her survival. Natalie prayed she was overthinking the situation and that she'd never actually have to utilize the escape plan she often rehearsed in her mind. But clearly, she wasn't overthinking. What she hadn't counted on was the real possibility of Lexi becoming collateral damage. In her mind, Natalie had run through survival scenarios, but only involving herself and the killer, not Lexi. She had to get her sister out of here before it was too late. Knife in hand, she slid against the wall and as far away from the windows lining the porch as possible. She'd leave the bag for now. If she had any hopes of escaping with her sister, she would need to be unencumbered. Nothing inside the bag was worth dying for. Natalie crept toward her bedroom door. If she was going to make it, she'd have to slip into Lexi's room, wake her up, and then take her through the living room, into the kitchen, and out the back door. She had no time to waste. But as Natalie took another step, a shadow crossed the window. Her lungs froze. The outline of a man appeared, first at one window, then another. This guy was trying to peer inside, wasn't he? Natalie sank into the shadows, praying he didn't see her. She didn't dare make a sound. But he must have seen her SUV outside. He had to know she was here. Had he seen Lexi come home? No telling how long he'd been out there watching the place. Was he waiting her out? Did he know she and Lexi had nowhere to go and no one around to help them? The nearest and only neighbor was a quarter-mile away, and Lexi had warned her to stay away from the man. She'd said he was trouble. More trouble was the last thing Natalie needed. She remained frozen until the man finally stepped away and his silhouette disappeared. His boots again clunked against the rickety wood of the front porch. Then she heard the doorknob rattle. Her breath caught. He was at her front door, trying to get inside. He wasn't even trying to be quiet about it, as if he already knew he had the upper hand. Despair threatened to overtake her. Natalie couldn't let him get close enough to finish what he'd started. She had to get Lexi and get out of here. Her pulse continued to ramp up with every second that passed. But she forced herself to move, to fight for her life. She grabbed a jacket from behind her door and pulled it on. She always kept a flashlight in the pocket there. Then she grabbed her cell phone, which usually didn't even have service out here.